I don't have any cool.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's 6 M's. That's it.
Welcome, Bam.
Yeah, thank you.
But
yeah, you seem locked in
I feel
now.
like the change could be brought through. Monolith isn't depressed.
No, and
Monolith
it's not linked
is
to
manic.
It's manic. Is it?
Yeah.
Do you think it's so maybe that's why? Maybe it's
I don't
just
know.
gone now.
What did I play when I was Monolith? What was I playing?
I have no idea. I don't think you're playing anything. I think you were just Monolith
I was
at
just a
one point.
maniac on
Yeah,
Steam.
I think
just
we were
having a
doing
Steam
D&D.
account.
I think
Yeah.
we were playing D&D, and was
yeah.
when you became the Monolith
Yes.
persona.
I love D&D.
D&D
So
is
fun.
very cool.
I am.
You getting the bug again?
I've told. Well, I just have it. Period.
Yeah.
I think I told Soren that I'm probably done DMing.
Yeah,
for
a
right
little
now.
bit, take a break.
I miss playing with you.
Yeah.
I think that we had a really good back and forth.
Yes.
And if we had more into that, then
Yeah.
it would have been a better experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be fun to try and again, sorry. I get, like that's my like gaming ADD.
Yeah.
I just get I'm like, I don't feel it, but I'm sure I could have fun in it. I think, like we were talking about with the 40, I think it'd be cool to do a different universe.
I think so.
Like a different time.
Different system, too.
Yeah, different system.
I
could
would
be
I would
cool.
love to do like space or cyberpunk.
Yeah, I think that'd be very
Yeah.
cool. Like do some sort of fucking, yeah, anything sci-fi would be
Yeah,
dope. Do
absolutely.
like fucking, even if it's, like
The
I would like
Expanse.
like Star Wars fucking like Mando,
That'd be cool.
but
Yeah.
like Western
Yeah.
sci-fi. So it's
That'd be
like
cool.
low grade
Oh,
sci-fi.
no, yeah,
like we're
I
not
like
flying
that.
around with jetpacks.
I thought you
and
meant
shit.
like actually doing like Star Wars.
No,
I don't
no,
want
no.
to do Star
I mean like
Wars.
Mando,
Yeah,
like
okay.
Mandalorian.
I like that.
Like because that's like
Well,
the
I love
greatest-
westerns.
Well, that's it. Like, but
Yeah.
like a Western sci-fi, like that's fucking badass. Like that's the coolest.
I like that.
They were gonna make a Mandalorian game. You know that?
Really?
They pulled
Wait,
it
Respawn
immediately.
was going to do it, right?
Yeah, they canceled it. Like after the release trailer, they canceled it.
My
They didn't
buddy
put a
works
trailer.
there.
Huh?
At least I thought he worked there. He
Yeah.
might not
Oh,
anymore.
okay.
Everyone's getting laid off right now.
Are they?
The job market is crazy.
It's tough times.
Not like in I think all the layoffs from non-gaming was like last year.
Yeah.
And I think that slowed down. And then this year it's like all the gaming industries because all of that stuff has gamers are slowing down.
Yeah.
Gamers have slowed down from COVID. COVID was like a big
Yeah, that's a good
gaming
point. Yeah, I
point.
didn't even think about that. A lot of
Yeah.
people probably got
Yeah.
into gaming during COVID
Yes.
who weren't traditional
or just
gamers.
gaming more. Period.
Yeah. What else were you?
People are like clocking in less and less hours.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking losers.
yeah. Fucking
Put your man
idiots.
hours in. This is not a game.
This isn't
It's
a
a
game.
full-time job.
So what were we saying before? Were you gonna ask me something about the Adderall or the ADHD thing?
Probably.
I feel good. Did I tell you I had a?
you do seem like because you. How long have you been taking the slow release one?
Probably like a month and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say like
probably
I feel like
like-
I was gonna say like probably like
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You seem more comfortable
Yeah.
like us doing this alone.
Yeah,
It seems like you seem more comfortable just sitting and talking.
that's true.
Yeah, like you seem like you're.
We're also
able-
getting better at it. Though,
I think
'cause we're
that.
doing
I think
it.
that's why I was like I never knew of it, but I do think like it probably helps
Yeah.
you like.
I think it has been helping me. Like
And
one,
regardless, even
I'm
if it's not the
getting-
meds, even if it's in your head, it doesn't fucking
Yeah.
matter. It's working.
I'm getting less mad at people.
That's good.
For doing like dumb shit, like
Yeah.
especially like boomer shit.
Yeah. Just fucking existing.
Dude, I'll tell you one that so I am terrible if you are driving me.
drive like like
If
micromanaging.
you're driving, yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
will but like
That's not an unreasonable thing.
I feel
to
like
do.
a lot of people just drive fucking unsafe. It's like dude, like what the
driving.
Yeah.
Like
What did you
physically
think?
driving.
Yes.
I always thought you meant like just in the theoretical version of like micromanaging you. You
Oh,
mean
no.
being a passenger?
Yes.
You don't like being a passenger?
I can be.
Yeah.
I can be depending on who's the
Who's
driver.
driving? Yeah.
But like my dad freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
our
feel
parents
like
drive like
I feel like that's an easy sweeping statement to
Yes.
make. Our parents drive
parents.
like lunatics.
yes,
If
like
you're-
and like we have conversations
Yeah.
about how like aggressive people are on the road, and then it's like
No.
you'll see you do some crazy.
my my
yeah.
parents will be like, it only took me like an hour and a half to get there. I'm like, how fast do you drive? They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's not an hour and a half. I was like, you're driving over 100 miles per hour to
Yeah.
get here. Then they're like, well, maybe. I'm like, not maybe. You drove. You drove. Like, I drive it.
It's impossible
It takes like 2.5 hours. You drove an hour less because you're driving like 105 miles per hour. Like, why the fuck are you going that fast? You're old. Like, you don't have
Yeah.
any fucking reflexes. You're half blind. You're not.
Do you have water? Do you need water?
No, I'm okay.
Where's your water?
I left it outside,
Are you
so I didn't have to
serious?
tinkle.
Okay, gotcha.
I always have to pee then. I'm
Yeah.
old.
They're maniacs.
Yeah, they are maniacs.
Why do they do
drive?
that?
They drive.
I
Like
feel like
fucking-
I feel like I could ride with you.
Yeah.
I could
Well,
ride
I also
passenger
think
with you.
as an adult,
Yeah.
you become less comfortable driving with other people.
Yeah.
Because you don't,
Right.
especially as a man.
That's true.
It's I don't know how it works in you
Yeah.
with you and
Yeah.
if are you the driver?
Typically,
Okay.
unless like I feel really like I don't want to drive, I'll have her drive.
Yeah,
But like usually, like like I'll drive you.
So what
like,
if you guys
like,
went on? What if
I'll
you guys went
drive
on like
your
a
car.
12-hour drive? Would you drive the whole way, or would you split the drive?
Let me think. So when we went,
Have
to,
you done longer drives?
So longer drives suck.
Yeah, well, they're horrible. Most horrible experience on the planet is driving more than I think. I used to say 6. Now I'm pushing 4. It's getting less for
4.
me as I get
Really?
older. If I have to drive over 4 hours, I am very unhappy
I think if it's every once in a while, like every
Yeah.
few years, it's okay.
because you forget.
Yeah, you forget.
You gotta forget.
I think. Well, we drove. The last one wasn't bad.
How long was it?
So it was from Tampa to Macon, Georgia, which is like just south of Atlanta.
So
And
like
maybe
8?
like 7 hours.
And did you drive the whole way?
I drove the whole way.
Yep.
Um,
Both ways.
well, here and then the next we wanted to stop because we didn't want to do the whole trip, and then we drove from there through Atlanta to Chattanooga.
Yeah.
And I drove all the way there.
Yeah.
And then we went from Chattanooga later on Thanksgiving. We drove to Sarah and Jesse's.
Yep.
2-hour drive. I drove there, and then from there, that's when we were going to drive from there back home.
Yeah.
Except, well, we were not all the way back home. We're going to stop at the Florida-Georgia border. And she drove for the first leg of that, so I think
So you did split some of the driving.
that was the part of the driving that we
So that's a
split.
level of
It's
that's so-
back. Yeah.
Okay. So you do split some.
Yeah.
So like for me,
Yeah.
I drive
We drive.
always.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah, it could be a 30-hour trip.
Yeah.
I could be asleep at the wheel. I will drive.
Yes. Now,
there's no different-
Do you? Let me ask you a few questions before you answer
Yeah,
everything. Does your wife offer to drive?
She would she's not choosing not to.
Yeah.
So she would if I asked her to.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
she just does that's how it is. Like I
That's-
drive.
yeah.
Yeah. Like that's
Okay. Gotcha.
that's the dynamic.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I mean. Yeah, so I think as an adult, you definitely become uncomfortable. I mean, I drive. I mean, I drove. That was my job. Primarily my job was a driver. I drove.
Okay.
I drove boats, but I mean, I'm
Yeah.
a driver. I drive. I'm in control. Like that's what I do. I drive, and I mean, a lot of the times in that aspect, you actually are teaching other people, so you really
Yes.
aren't driving, but you always have control. Like you can take the helm, you can take control of the ship, and you can drive if you had to if something was going wrong. But you are oftentimes teaching other people to drive. So I'm comfortable being it, but I'm not, I always I would rather have some level, like things like that have some level. So I think that probably just comes with that though. Like you just, as you get older, you're always used to being the one who's driving.
There's nothing
You
wrong with
become
that.
uncomfortable with, being not the one driving.
Has she driven you before?
Yeah, she has very seldom, probably like 4 times in like our life.
Yeah.
Like I think I don't even know. I think we've been together for I don't know, some amount of years, like 7 years, 8 years. I don't
Damn,
know.
dude. What the fuck?
6 years.
Yeah.
7. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah.
I mean,
so,
I just still like it's hard for me to separate you from like the you that I met a long time ago.
yeah, they all
So it's
online
still
version
like
of me.
even like for the longest time I was like oh you have a girl now.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah, how's your
I would say
girlfriend?
that forever
Yeah.
like girlfriend. And it's like wait no like you're
oh, you've been married
you're
for
we're-
like fucking
yeah, like-
years.
I was telling Soren, it probably goes for maybe more me than you, but man, it's hard being a teenager in your 30s.
It's funny. I see a lot of those. I feel like we were talking about that last week though, but it is crazy. Like that's what we were. Oh yeah, we were talking about with
millennial
the,
main characters.
Yeah. Well, no, but how our parents,
Yeah.
they were focused on like getting home. Like it's
Yes.
weird the dynamic change.
Yeah.
Like I saw a clip today of or I think it was a TikTok, and it was like it was like a picture, and it was like my mom at 25, and it's like her with like raising 3 kids, and it like shows like an old photo of like her mom like raising. It's like me at 25 dying in my banana skin in Fortnite. Like like it's just it is crazy that the difference. Like that. I think there's more of a push now for like back then there wasn't as many options.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like, what do you mean? You know, like you should be working on your career in your early 20s. Like once you're done with high school, like, what do you mean? Like you should be getting a job and looking for like, what are you going to, you're not going, but now it's like, people are like, I'm going to go and fucking buy a bus and travel the world. You know, like that wasn't, if you said that, if you said that in like the 70s, they'd be like, get the fuck out of here, idiot. You know, like, what are you talking about? Like, get to work, you know, like you're not going anywhere. You're enlisting or you're finding a job, you know, like, you know, and that was
my dad was drafted, by the way.
Yeah. So for that, you know, like I've said that before, but I think that we should do it fucking South Korea style.
I think we should too.
2 years. Just 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. Because what else you do when you're 18?
I think
you're not delaying anything.
It would, because I think, well, like how is our military doing, like body wise these days?
Well, I mean, the bigger branches, they're just fucking, they're churns.
Right.
They're people churns. They are designed to capture young people for 4 years and burn them dry and drop them out as a husk of a human. Gotcha. That's what they're designed to do.
That's like how my dad describes it.
Yeah, they're not designed like the Army, Marine Corps and stuff. Like there are people who make careers out of it and fucking.
That's like exactly what he said to me the other day.
Yeah.
Like literally this week.
Yeah, it's a machine. It's a machine that's meant to fucking grab a healthy, you know, a person who can be used hard and fucking put away wet.
But like, as far as like how many is in it, and like there still are like draft laws, like it still could happen.
Yeah, it could. I don't think that
it wouldn't. I don't think like would we have the money to do that?
I don't know.
You know, to like have
what do you mean?
Every 18
Is money
to
even
20 year
fucking
old
real? We just fucking make it up.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Now we have money again. You know.
My dad's take on it was, you know, like. So he was a musician going in, and then
that's cool as fuck. Oh wait, no, he wasn't.
No, I mean, no,
because there are musicians.
He was already
in the
a musician.
Yeah, you know, that's a job. Yeah. You can be just a
that's
musician.
what her old coworker was. She was a band teacher, and then she left the school after 1 year to join the military as like a band
musician.
Instructor.
It's fucking wild. Like you can literally just be a musician and be in the military.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So my dad is like very smart, and he said like. You know, whenever he went in, he was like one of 3
branch
people.
Was he in?
Army.
Okay.
Army. He was like one of 3 people like at boot camp or like whatever that got like pulled in, and they're like, you guys are actually smart.
Yeah.
We want you to be an officer.
They took the ASVAB back then.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
So you take that's still a great indicator. They still like if you score well on that.
Yeah.
They do the same thing.
Yeah.
Still to this day. Like they'll pull you like you're separated from like they're like, all right, everyone over here is fucking retards. You know, you guys scored well. So like they offer you you're available to take other jobs. Yeah. Like you're a commodity in the military with the higher score because it just opens up different paths for you.
Okay. Yeah, but that was basically
what did he end up doing in the Army?
Well, they wanted him to become an officer.
Okay.
I think he like mentioned he could have became a warrant officer.
Okay.
And he mentions from his perspective that would have meant he would have been in helicopters in Vietnam and he would have got killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he declined.
Yeah.
And got sent to Germany. This is like the tail end of Vietnam. Yeah. I think we were all already pulling out.
Yeah.
And went over there, and he said he was a great soldier. Yeah. And then there was he did get in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, they're kids. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah. And you know, after that, he said like, you know, they train you to be like. They were training them to be killing machines. Yeah. To want to go out and kill, and then train you up to be that, and then after your 3 or 4 years, it's just like, all right, bye,
drop you out. Yeah,
bye, killer.
yeah. I mean, now obviously it's a little different. They have better resources and stuff. You know, it's more. But I mean, those. Just the sheer size of those things, and they understand they understand that the rate at which people are staying in. Like I think the retention rate for like the Marine Corps is like it's astronomically low. It's like 10% or something.
Wait,
it's
like retention rate is
meaning re-enlisting.
Okay, yeah, I could imagine. Yeah, that. So that sounds like the worst branch to be in. Like that sounds like a meat grinder.
Just where they can be.
Sorry,
there are some really cool places. I've met some Marines who've done some really cool things.
Yeah.
But the large majority of them just get stuck in like training facilities in the States, like these miserable locations, and they never leave. They're there for like 4 years, living in like
in America.
Yes, living in like these horrible conditions. Like it's like you'd rather be fucking overseas, you know? It's just not a fun existence. But those are, like I said,
what? Wait, say that again.
Yeah, they just stay here and train.
Why don't they like just have? Why don't they have those people like branches like that? Like if we're not like actively at war,
Training. They're training for war.
Why don't they just have them like doing?
You want to be ready. You don't plan. That's why. So those guys are literally like, if you're an infantryman, like there's not a lot of infantry work going on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, and there always will be, whether we know.
But like, how long does it take to train someone up to be
with those things? Marine? I'd imagine usually the turnaround on any of those sort of trainings, like a basic thing, I'm imagining is probably, I can't say exactly for them because I don't know, but I imagine it's probably like 2-3 years. To turn like 2 years probably they can turn around somebody who's, I guess
the way I'm like imagining it, and I'm imagining it obviously from a grand strategy point of view, is like why not just have like very little members, and then when you need it, then
I think because like, so just the turnaround, it's the turnaround you need, because I mean even just to indoctrinate a person in is like 6 months to a year just to turn you into like a military member, and even then it's very loose. I mean my trainings and stuff, I mean, it took, if I were to combine all my schools together, if I did them all in a row or whatever, it would be probably like 3-4 years of school that I went to total over like a 10-year span to make, and then each one of those they get greater. So that's the thing too. Like, they also, it takes time to give people this training, but also they're looking at it like we're assets. We're not people. That's how they treat it too. So that they're looking for, it's like a growing test of whether or not you're worth the training. Okay. So because they don't want to take a guy who possibly might get out and just send him to, $5 million worth of school, and then he leaves in 3 years. Yeah. So like a lot of these schools too, like some of the trainings I've done, like I had to like re-enlist to go to the school. Okay. Because they won't give me that training without getting their money's worth, because they're like, I'm not going to teach you how to do this. Yeah. If we're not going to keep you in, like we're all my like advanced, like I have a couple advanced certifications for like for driving boats. Yeah. But when I go to those, they're like, you don't go unless you re-enlist. Like we're not going to fucking send you to this $1 million school and teach you a very technical skill and then let you free. Like
not just going to give you this education.
Yeah. Pretty. Yeah.
For no reason.
So I think that's like, but yeah, like I said, those branches, that's how they're designed. They're ripping through people, left and right. But, that being said, if we just did a little fucking 2-year thing where it was just, you just did that little indoctrination in the beginning. And then if it was for you, if it's something you thought you could make a career out of, then cool, go for it. But if not, all it does is it just teaches you how to be, like boot camp is literally just like, it's like fucking preschool. You're like every single aspect of your day is planned for you. Like literally you do nothing except what you're told. And it's good too, because it teaches you how to be, because I mean you can't be a good leader, you really can't be successful if you're not a good follower. If you don't know how to follow orders, it is very difficult to be successful in life, because no matter what position you're in, even if you are the leader, if you have no understanding of what it's like to be a follower, you're going to be a shit leader, because you're going to treat your people like shit. You can't see the other side of it. So going to boot camp and being like a fucking shit stain and getting treated like that, it's great for character building. It builds people up. It evens everyone. So like that's the cool thing too about boot camp. Like
you're all even.
Yeah, you'll go to boot camp. Like I remember when I was in boot camp, there was guys there who were like 30. There was guys there who were 18. There were people who had full careers prior. Yeah. Kids who had people who were adults with like fucking 3 kids, and now they're getting treated like a literal baby. Like, could you imagine? Like, I think of myself now, like going there, and then like I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, and then your CCs, your company commanders, the guys are like, they wear, obviously, you always see the pictures. They have those fucking big brimmed hats. I mean, a lot of that is to hide the fact that they're like your age. They're kids too.
I've seen.
Yeah, it's to hide the fact that's what they purposely. And the whole thing is built around dehumanizing them to you, because they don't. So you can't look in their eyes. You can't look at them like ever. You're not allowed to, because they don't want you to like see that it's just a fucking another dude.
It's just a person.
Yeah, it's just another guy. Like it's you. You could be doing that in a year from now. You could be in that job. Yeah. So, that whole thing though. But I think that's good for you. I think it
kind of break
equalizes.
down your ego.
Yeah. You can't be, and it
Ego
doesn't
death.
work for everyone. It definitely, yeah. Now it doesn't work for everyone, and there's a lot of people who go through it and they still have problems and stuff. But I think for the large majority of people,
Riley
it works.
still doesn't wash his hands.
Yeah, still doesn't fucking wash his hands. Yeah. But yeah, so it is too. It's crazy the amount of people who don't have good hygiene.
Really?
Boot camp will fucking force you to have good hygiene.
I do imagine Riley not washing his hands.
Why is that?
I think just the mask thing.
Oh, the mask.
Yeah, the mask. How much he loves not wearing a mask. Like he at that point, he's gotta love. He's gotta love not masks.
Yeah, but yeah. So all that, and then and then the other thing that it does is it just forces you to be an adult. Okay. You get taken out of that boot camp thing, and now where you might sit at home and have the comfort of your family and, support of your family and stuff. It forcibly takes that all away from you and just drops you far away from home. And then it gives you the tools to be successful because you're surrounded by people who literally just did the same thing. It gives you the money to do that. Like, here's money for or it's already set up. It's like, here's a place you're going to live.
Yeah.
You're on your own. You have to fucking show up to work at this time. And one of the greatest parts of it that works really great for young kids is it's not, oh, you didn't show up, you don't get paid today or you get fired. It's like, no, like you go to fucking,
you go to jail.
If you fuck around, like we're going to fuck you up. Like, we would have guys who, they show up late and we give them EMI like this. It's like extra mandate. I forget the actual acronym for it. A bunch of bullshit acronyms. Regardless, though, we just make them stay there. Like normally, the work day's over at 3 o'clock or something in the afternoon. They'll just stay for like another 4 hours after the work day and just do like the most horrible thing you can imagine. Like, it's whatever you pick. So you're like, today you're gonna fucking scrub every single tile in the mess deck on the ground with a fucking brush for the next 4 hours, and you're gonna do that for 3 weeks straight.
Okay.
So like that sort of punishment, and you can't not do it.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, you're just going to stay longer. And like, so that sort of punishment for like a 18, 19-year-old, you're like, oh shit, this is real. It's not like, oh, you didn't get, like if you do it again, you're going to be in trouble. Like it's real punishment, like real tangible punishment that sticks, like it hurts. Or like really gnarly things. It's like, we'll restrict you to the boat. So like imagine you get so you're living in you're living in a fucking, like, I don't know, have you ever been on ship's berthing? Have you seen what it looks like?
Not really.
Like the coffin rack, like, so you're sleeping the racks you sleep in, a rack is just a bed.
Yeah.
The next bed, it's a bunk. There's usually 3 or 4 of them in a row. Yeah. The next bed is so close to you that you cannot turn on your side.
Okay.
So it's here. Okay. The next bed above you, like it's 8 to 10 inches above your head, and it's just metal. Yeah. And then next to you is the fucking hull of the ship, usually. Okay. And that's where you live. And then all of your belongings it's a coffin rack, so it pops up. All your belongings are underneath that bed, and that's your living space. Okay. And it's a shared space. Usually it's like a 50-man berthing, so there's 50 other fucking dirty rats running around in there. Yeah. And that's where you live. Okay. So when you get off work, you don't fucking stay there. You work there, you sleep there, you live there. You do every aspect of anything you can do to get off the boat, you would do that. Right. Well, if you fuck up, if you fucking sleep in one day or something, we can restrict you to the boat. Oh my God. You can't leave. Yeah. And
you do this to people?
So, I mean, I've booked people and written people up, and then that will go to it'll go to a mast. So your captain.
So you're not the one making that decision. Like,
no, the CEO makes the decision. Okay. We can do like our own remediated stuff like that, like for our subordinates and stuff. But things like restriction and stuff, that's going to come directly from like a commanding officer. Gotcha. Yeah, because it's obviously it's a big deal. Yeah. But yeah, so then you get like these guys, like some of the times, like we have guys who get restricted for like 60 days.
Oh my God.
So, like you don't show up to work, you get fucking 60 days fucking on the boat. Like,
so that would be like for something serious though.
No, not necessarily. Yeah. I mean, you don't not show being late multiple times will do that. Yeah. So, I mean, depending on the level of
no, she's like doing like this chirp. She's going.
Oh, she sees cats. She sees birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they replicate bird noises.
Oh. Yeah. That's what she's doing.
Yeah. But so like that sort of thing. Like you imagine like like I said, for a 19-year-old who's like, fuck what jobs, fuck you, fuck, I'm not, and it's like, all right.
That's that's how my authoritarian ideal society would be. Like it's just like it would be like your jobs. Because like remember how I said everything would be based off of this one goal. Yep. And even if you're working at Starbucks, that's a part of that goal because you're serving.
So you would have those same level of punishment if you didn't do your job. Yes. Yeah, like I said, I think it's a great tool. And then if you just did 2 years of that, now you have this basis of how to be a good worker.
Yeah.
You've had real punishment in your life. You understand what it's like to work a part of a team and be just a follower and be like the low man on the totem pole. And you're set up. You got fucking benefits. You got the money to be like a normal person and stuff, and then fucking go do whatever you want. Like, I think that would be awesome for people. Like, I mean, obviously some people might have it figured out and stuff, but the large majority of people, like, what the fuck else are you doing when you turn 18?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. I wish I would have just instantly enlisted.
Right.
Like, I don't regret.
When
going
did you
to
go
college.
in? When you were 22?
21.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to 3 years of college first.
Yeah. And you're 31 now.
30.
And you're turning 31 this year?
Turning 31 this year.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like, so, I mean, if I just would have, it just would have been sooner getting into that, you know, sooner. Yeah. I mean, I don't regret going to college. It was fun. I had a good time. It was like, I played lacrosse. It was cool.
Yeah.
But realistically, like in the grand scheme of things,
You couldn't have done anything else.
Yeah.
There was no other possibility.
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah. You had to join when you did.
Yeah. But no, so I think it's cool. I think it's I think everybody should just, I mean, 4 years I get is a big commitment, but if they just did the fucking South Korea style.
Absolutely.
I think
I agree.
It might even be
agree.
less than 2 years. It might just be a year. I don't even know what theirs is, but it's not much.
Well, I think, I think it would be better. Well, I think society in general would have a better impact, or like it would have a positive impact on society, because I think, I think, and this isn't like just me being a boomer, I just think like people now like have low work ethic.
Yeah,
like period. Especially like
people
when I see the younger
what
generation.
And they understand what people
or post COVID.
Post COVID
work
too.
ethic.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's like the generation. I just think like people.
Yeah, people realize like how little they can do to get away with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely true.
I don't. Yeah.
No, what were you gonna say?
Well, I don't know how. I feel like I have good work ethic.
Yeah.
Now. And I don't know how like I developed that, because like
I've
only worked at Starbucks.
I think you become a better worker as you get older.
Yeah.
Because you're more apathetic when you're younger. Like you don't really care about that stuff. Like you're not engaged in what you're doing. It's rare that you're going to be working on something you actually care about.
Right.
It's the same thing about school. Like I see it now when I'm going back to school now. Like I'm actually like I care more about the school that I'm doing. Like whereas as a kid and stuff, like you're not going to have that same level of or you could, but it's going to be much rarer that you're actually as engaged as you would be as an adult. Like it's easier to learn when you're younger, just by nature of your brain being more, malleable, but you just don't give a shit. So it's like, who the fuck, so it's like double-edged sword. So yeah, I think that work ethic kind of sets in and stuff. I also think it builds nationalism, which
nationalism,
I like.
True. Yeah, we do love being American.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it makes you. It does. It makes you have. It has because I mean, like at the end of the day, like people talk shit and they hate everything, but it's like having a little ounce of respect for your own where you're from is good for people. Like it builds some kind. Like you should have if you're from here. If you're American citizen, so like if you should pay some respect to the place you're from and have some pride in it. I think it would build because it doesn't help. Like that's the only thing that can bond us. Is a sense of nationalism. Like you could disagree on everything. You could be different political parties or whatever the fuck you want to have. But if you have like just a hint of nationalism where you're like, like we might have our fucking problem. Not might. We do have our problems. But at the end of the day, like we're still Americans. Like fucking fuck yeah, USA. Like that Olympic feel. You know what the Olympics does? Yeah. That should just be all the time.
Always.
Yeah. Like imagine if we had the Olympic
fucking America.
Yeah, like that's a cool feeling. Like when everyone watches the Olympics and we're like, fuck yeah, USA, like fuck Russia, like whatever, like that's a cool thing. Like a little bit of that, like put that a little bit into your diet is good for people.
I think I definitely I think Republicans are really good. It's just like not just we'll umbrella into right-wing people, but I feel like they're really good at like being like embracing patriotism, while like the left is like that's not it's like not cool or like
they're two. There's I think by nature one is more rigid than the other, so any confinement put on a left-wing person is going to be harder than you would on a right-wing person, I think. So like being an American, even then they'd be like, I don't fall on it, like they would just instantly have more of a problem with that just because of the way that they think. But if you just had like a little, like I said, a tiny touch of that nationalism to be like, yeah, like I might have different views and I might not like this. I might not like the president right now. I might not like whatever the fuck's happening, but like at the end of the day, I'm still fucking, I was born here. Like everything I have, like
that's a good like way to think of it. I think like what,
like we're still all Americans.
Yeah.
You know,
I guess it's like I'm like terminally online.
Yeah.
You know, I see a lot of like the commie
Yep.
people
Yeah.
On like Reddit, and like a lot of them are, you know, their mindset is just America bad.
Yep.
It's like
it's not sweet. And there's
fucking
no
move,
absolutes.
then.
Yeah,
Fucking move.
Well, that's
then.
the thing too. Yeah, it's like if it's that bad, fucking go to another country.
Yeah,
and you
go
tell me
elsewhere.
how it is there. Like we are.
It's pretty sweet here.
Yeah, yeah. Like this is fucking good.
It's cool
dude.
that you can say that.
Yeah. Like this is like this is as good as it's gonna. But yeah, I think it's the same. It's the same sentiment as like the fuck police thing to me. You know, like yes, there's a huge problem with police officers. There's a lot of issues you see, but to make a sweeping statement like fuck every police, like you can't.
Every single cop
like,
is
they're evil. It's like it's not a reasonable thing to say. Like you just can't say that. You know?
So I think cops suck. You know, I hate getting pulled over.
Yeah.
But you know, if I have a problem, I'm gonna fucking call the cops.
Yeah, like we still rely on them. They still provide a service for you. Now, are all of them good? No, but nobody's fucking all. Never, you know, and like we've said that before too. Cops are under it's a higher position, so you're gonna see more corruption because they have the power to do bad things. Like no one's like mad at fucking accountants because the accountant doesn't have a gun and cuffs.
Yeah.
You know, like he can't hurt you, but a cop who is corrupt can, or has a problem can. So it's just that's the nature of the job. Like you're gonna have bad things happen, and it's just highlighted now. I saw fucking what? I think it was on Fuck You in particular. I don't know. I
remember that one.
A subreddit, but recently, like last week, I saw a person. It was a mod. It was a huge post, and it was a cop like beating somebody up, like some ridiculous police brutality. 100% cops in the wrong.
Yeah.
It was a huge post. The post got locked, and a mod from the thing posted on it and was like pretty much just said that you're not allowed in this subreddit. You're not allowed to support police, and that we are a strict fuck the police. Like the moderator of a huge subreddit, and like then it got locked later on, but you could see people be like, "What the fuck are you talking?" Like because of the mod of the whole like locked. The whole thing was like, fuck police. We don't support police at all on this thing. Like you're not even allowed to argue for their sake here. Like that is, you will be banned if you say anything about supporting the police or something like that. I was like, what do you do?
So
like,
fucking stupid.
First of all, even if you have that opinion, why are you fucking pinning your mod post on this thing?
Shut the fuck
like,
up.
Are you just trying to be attacked?
So you remember defund the police?
I remember
like that.
Yeah,
like,
that phase.
Well, my thing is, if we fund them more, won't they become better? Like if like being a police is like a lucrative job, like
maybe.
And like
you think money would fuel it enough?
No, because you need something else. Like
it's just not
I
worth
think
the
the
risk.
biggest thing is like what?
It's not worth the risk to be a cop. Imagine being a cop. Like it would be a horrible job. Imagine.
Okay, I'm going to say something terrible. I'm going to say something really, and this is probably like, so. What? Maybe who said this? A comedian brought this up, but I looked it up, and being a cop is not nearly even close to the most dangerous job.
No, it's not. But you're by nature of your job.
Yeah.
I mean, statistics.
That's true. By nature, that's a really good point. By nature,
yeah.
That's
By
a really
nature
good
of
point.
your job,
that's a really good
always
point.
putting yourself in risk.
I really like that.
Yeah. So
that's
like,
the nature of the job.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at stats, I'm sure there's a million other jobs that are more dangerous. But by nature of your job, every single, and then also the culture now, even a fucking stop. You do just a normal fucking traffic stop. You got to be nervous. Like you walk up to a car who has a tint on their window. Yeah. I would be nervous.
Right.
Like, and I've done a lot of law enforcement in my life. Obviously it's all federal, but ours is easy as fuck. Like I'm pulling up, I see a boat in the distance. Before I even approach the boat, I'm doing a safety sweep. I can see the boat. I'm looking at the people. Like
ocular pat down.
Yeah. Ocular pat down. Yeah. No, it is ISS, initial safety sweep. But yeah, so we're looking at all of that stuff. So like it's more, and even then I'm still nervous sometimes. And I'm not even, I'm the cop, so I barely even ever go over. I just drop off boarding teams on these vessels and they do their, they do the boardings and stuff. But even that, sometimes you're like, you don't know, like you don't know what these people's position is. You don't know, you don't know if they had some, bad interaction with someone. And for the most part, the Coast Guard is like cool. Like everybody, like fishermen and stuff get a little annoyed and stuff. But most people like us because they're like, oh, like, yeah, you board us and give us a hard time every once in a while, but you're really here to help us and save us when shit goes wrong. So the majority of the boating public is cool with us. Yeah. But to be a cop, I got my mask. But yeah, a cop now, like, dude, like everyone, like it's a lot of people don't like cops. Like, so
no one like, I
mean,
no one
wants to be pulled over.
I don't hate the police, but like I hate cops.
Yeah, because it sucks. It's not a fun thing. You don't want to see lights behind you. You know, it makes you nervous, and then like I said, they got to be nervous. So like, I don't know if giving more money would help. I think, unfortunately, it just attracts a lot of people who are attracted to power. And whether or not it's for a good reason or a bad reason, you don't know. Like it probably attracts the shepherd, like somebody who wants to look after people and help.
True.
But it also attracts like the fucking dictator, the hungry
school
person.
Bully.
Yep, the kid or the kid who got bullied.
Yeah, true.
And now wants that power to hold over people.
I think one thing we have mandatory conscription.
Yep.
So now,
this is in your authoritarian.
This could be our world.
Okay.
This could be our. This doesn't have to be my joint.
Yeah. Okay.
Crazy fascist world, but obviously not everyone is going to go through the conscription.
Yeah,
some people are going to slip.
Yeah.
But to become a cop, you have to have served.
Okay.
So I think that would have educated you a little bit more. Would build
that layer of.
I think just with policing in general, like. It needs, and I think people want to see more accountability, and it has to be like it has to be like a third party accountability, but also like the fact that like most cops now have cameras on them. Like how did we get that done? Like that just like I thought like I remember when only like a few places were doing it. It's like that's cool. I wish that was a thing, but like it's normal now.
Yeah,
like how did that happen?
That's it. Yeah, I don't. All these police
it protects them too.
Yeah, all this stuff. Yeah, it does protect them as well. But all the huge cases of cell phone videos. That's how that happened. Now we have body cams. Everyone has body cams.
Yeah,
I think one of the bigger issues with it is that most police departments, their investigations are done internally.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah, that's
we don't do that in any other thing. You can't. And we like in every other aspect of our life, we have checks and balances. You don't internally investigate a problem.
Yeah, we
by
didn't do
nature
that.
of corruption.
Yeah,
well, because it's like, if you can't. Obviously, it's like, hey, police officer, this police officer was bad. Hey, police officer, do you think he was bad? Like, don't ask another cop. Like let's have a third party come in. Like let's have some other entity that's willing to check into this. Like maybe an organization that reviews these. I mean, that's a very hard thing to, it's easier to say than do. Yeah. But I think that would help a lot. Like, or just, I mean, it's tough though, because you can't, the reason it happens that way is because police officers are protected by law, by their job. Yeah. So you can't privately go after a cop. So it's the same thing for us federally. So like if I go on your ship and I do something wrong, you can't sue me.
Okay.
You have to go after the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
So like, good fucking luck.
Or if I piss in your coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah. Yeah. They have to go after. Well, is it? Yeah. Are you guys protected?
No, probably not.
Yeah. It's probably, they could probably civilly go after you.
Fucked.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I think, but it's tough. That's a really double-edged sword. You can't. If you pull that away, then people will act a lot different. It's the same thing. Like, you ever heard of the Good Samaritan Law? So if you attempt to help somebody within the realm of your own knowledge, meaning, so you see somebody on the ground and they're choking and you try and do, the Heimlich because you know how to do the Heimlich,
right?
Not you try and fucking trach them with a pencil because you saw it on a movie one time. So it has to be within the realm of something you would know. If you try to help them and say you go to give them the Heimlich and you break like 4 of their ribs, but you save them, but now they have 4 broken ribs, that person can't then come and sue you.
Okay.
You are protected by the Good Samaritan Law. Now, if you took that away, people would be less inclined to help. So I think that's the same. It's the same basis for cops. If you took away their protection, how often would they be sticking their neck out for you? So like it's the same thing. Like like you wouldn't want to help. If you'd be like, I'm scared. You're like, I don't know. This person might fucking be mad. Like who knows? Like I might have saved him, or I might hurt him worse.
Yeah, let me just
you might hurt him worse. Like same thing with like neck, spine injuries or something.
Yeah.
If you see somebody fucking take a fall, like when we were playing pickleball the other day, that girl fall and broke her leg. Like
the other day
or whatever the fuck that was. some amount of time.
Yeah.
If she did have a serious injury and I acted outside of my level of knowledge and I hurt her more, I could be liable for that.
Right.
But by the little, she was fine.
Yeah.
Well, relatively.
Right.
But in whatever care that I would have administered there, if she needed any or anything, I would have stayed within my realm and I would have been protected by the Good Samaritan law because I'm just acting in my level of training to help another person, to be a good Samaritan. So like that, and that is the only reason I would do that. If I didn't understand that law, I would, if someone fucking fell and I hit their head on the ground and I saw their neck go sideways, I'd be like, I'll call 911, but I'm not touching you.
Yeah.
Cause like, I don't know. I might paralyze you. It's the same thing. Like we get people, we had a dude eject from a jet.
Okay.
And he hit the water. He had they came down, but it's still fucking hard. I don't know when he probably broke his spine hitting the deck or hitting the water.
Was he, who was this guy? Was he with you guys?
No, just a guy in a
Why did
plane.
he eject from a jet?
It crashed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, he had
okay,
just for fun.
Yeah, okay, so he
crashing.
ejected.
Yeah, so he ejected. It was like right when they took off, he was right over the water. This is Hawaii.
Yeah.
He ejected, and then when he hit the water, or possibly when we brought him on board, I don't know, he broke his back. Okay. But, we recovered him and brought him on board, but I'm bringing him on board a metal fucking boat. Yeah. There's no easy way of bringing a fucking person onto a boat. It's forceful. You have to drag them over shit like a spine, and he had a spinal injury.
Yeah.
And now the guy's paralyzed now from the waist down.
Yeah.
I think the waist down. Regardless though, could we have potentially have done that damage? Like, I don't know. Maybe we did sever his spinal cord bringing him on the boat. Maybe he broke his back and he was not completely paralyzed, but by making an attempt to save his life, he now is paralyzed. He'd be dead without us though. Yeah. That was the other option. It was either dead or possibly paralyzed. Yeah. But we're acting, it's not malicious. We're just trying to do our best with what we have, and then I have to fucking drive through 8-foot seas for, 6 hours back to land,
right.
So it's like, you're going to get fucking rattled on the way back. So even if your spine was intact, I'm going to destroy it on the way back,
Jesus.
So like, but there's nothing you can do. Like, we're just using what we have. So like, but that level of we never even think of that stuff. We're just like, we're going out. We got to get this guy. Like, our mission is to keep them alive,
Okay.
Obviously, we're not going to purposely like, hey, let me fucking throw you in a suplex when you get on board. But, so I think that having that mindset help, understanding that like gives you the power to want to help people. So if you took that away from cops, I don't know how inclined you'd be to want to help. Like, you'd just be like, like if I'm getting like shot at, I'll shoot back.
Right.
Or like if I see like an active thing going on, but it's like, I don't know, I might not want to fucking step in, like, or, break up the fight or something like that. I might just be like, you guys figure it out.
I'm never going to break up a fight.
Oh, yeah, no, I would never. But, so it's interesting. Yeah. I don't know what the solution is, but I do know that sweeping statements like "fuck all police" is a crazy thing to say. You're like, you can't say that. Yeah. You're like, "Fuck all police, except if I need them." Like,
fuck the fire department.
Yeah, fuck them. I've never had a fire in my house. I hate fire. Like you can't say that. Like it's not a reasonable thing to say. But I don't know.
All right, I do have something.
Yeah.
Well, let me check.
How long was I fucking just spitting gibberish for?
What?
How long have I been spitting gibberish for?
Oh no, that was awesome.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I haven't eaten up.
Incredible. I was like, damn, like this is what I needed to hear.
This is what
this is fucking cool. So last week we talked about the whole like parking lot and like pride.
Yes. Yeah. Power of the parking lot.
I had a few. I don't remember all of them. I should have wrote them down.
Yeah.
So, that I'm a cyclist.
Yes. A lunatic.
Yes, I'm a lunatic. and so, like, I have all the cyclist opinions.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, share the road.
Yeah.
Another one of them is, towards other cyclists, like, don't be do not be riding into traffic.
Okay.
Ride with traffic.
Yes.
So like if you're in the bike lane coming at me
Yeah.
and I'm going normally, like fuck you, man.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Because you want to be treated as a vehicle as well. Is that why?
I think it's safer. First of all, it's safer
to have the car behind you.
Yeah.
Really? Why is that?
So I've definitely like noticed like when people are like riding the wrong way, like they come up on you way too fucking fast, and they're small.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like other reasons, but like
I thought it was just
it does
flow
freak
of
me the fuck out when someone's in a bike lane coming at me.
When you're in a car or when you're on the bike?
When I'm in a car.
Okay. But that might be because
and like
you're
if you're going with them, like like to the people behind you, you're slower than the person approaching you.
Yeah.
So like if something does fuck up, like you'll have more time to react.
I guess, but you might not even see them.
Yeah.
They're behind you.
Yeah. Well, they would have more time to react.
Yeah, well, they have to react.
Yeah.
But that's weird because they're a giant metal car and you're a little bike.
Right.
They're going faster.
But they're not going to be, they're going to see me. They're going to
hopefully
more easier see me.
What if they don't?
Yeah, they
you're
often
trusting.
don't.
You're trusting that they see you.
So I have a few others though. Yeah. So I am a cyclist.
Yes.
I'll get back with you at why it's better to go with the flow of traffic.
I think it's because you want to be treated as a vehicle. That's what makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know because I'm not a cyclist, but to me, it seems like because you want to follow the same rules of the road as a car.
Which is like what it is.
That's what.
That's like a part of like if there's no bike lane, like
you're gonna drive on.
I'm gonna go on the road.
Yeah.
Depending on the road. Depending on the road.
Signals.
There's this dude on this major road,
just driving with cars going like 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, he was riding, like there's no bike lane, but he was riding in the road, and it's like, well, at that point, like me and my dad, like if it's a big road, just ride on the fucking sidewalk, like it ain't worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. You don't need to make your stand here.
Yeah. However.
I'm not afraid.
When I'm a pedestrian,
when
I'm a pedestrian and you are riding on the sidewalk,
then it's a huge problem.
I'm not going to move for you.
Yeah.
So like, I wanted to get your opinion on that. I'm not going to move for you.
Is this implying that there is a bike lane?
Let's say there is.
Okay, so if there, I mean, I would always move out of the way.
Yeah.
Just because I don't give a shit. It is easier.
I figured you wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, because I'm going to choose the path of least resistance. Yeah. So, like I'm not going to, I'm not going to do my not afraid to make a stand scene there. If there was a bike coming behind me or in front of me, I would just step to the side and let them go. If they were like an asshole about it, then maybe I'd get upset about it a little bit. But no, I would probably, if there was a bike coming down the road, I just move to the side. If there's another person walking on the road, I would be the one. I'll step to the side. Allow them to go past because I'm just like, I don't care. Like, you go.
Fine.
Yeah. Like,
I don't think where I'm coming. I don't think where I'm coming from is trying to exert power.
Yeah.
I think more of this it's probably pride. And it's like, hey, like I'm doing the right thing. You're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
But
I think
like,
that's a very human response.
Yeah.
A lot of people would do that.
Yeah.
I think most people do that. That's the same thing as the person inside in the crosswalk.
Yeah.
They're in the right.
Right.
So they're going to stand their ground against the giant metal box going 50 miles per hour.
No,
you're a little,
do not do that.
You're a little meat bag.
Don't do that.
You're a little meat bag. Like, I am correct. Yeah. It's like, but you're only going to be correct for 15 more seconds. Like,
a lot of dead people have the right of way.
Yeah. So like not a great place to, like I said, don't make your stand there. But
So like if I'm like,
I'll give you it's because you're right and they're wrong.
I think so.
I'll
give you a more extreme one.
Yeah.
And I probably should have started out with this.
Yeah.
Golf carts. First of all, fuck golf carts.
It's crazy.
I fucking hate them. Well, I know you got a bunch out there.
Yeah, they just drive everywhere. Yeah. Like on those roads where people are going like 80 miles per hour, like fucking lunatics. Like, and people on golf carts, just like going to fucking Publix in their golf cart. I'm like, you want to die?
Yeah. So do they piss you off when they're in front of you and you're driving?
No.
What about
I've told you the driving thing. I don't really driving. I am so like I'm like a drone.
Passive.
I'm like a drone.
Good.
I am like just a fucking. I could be. I'm like the same as the GPS.
Okay, so I'll
just
give you
turn
a few,
left here.
I'll give you a few other ones that aren't the same problem.
Yeah.
But So,
But I understand the anger.
Before-
to that. I think anger to that is very reasonable.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, because it's ridiculous. It's not safe for them.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be on the like. It's not a place for vehicle for.
Oh,
for
well,
a golf
well,
cart.
that brings up
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I
Yeah,
actually
next.
was going to say
Yeah.
is a golf cart on a sidewalk.
Yeah,
No, but I am not
Yeah.
going to fucking move
You're
for a
not.
golf cart. Absolutely not.
but where are they going to go?
Yeah. I don't fucking know. Don't be fucking riding a golf cart
Yeah,
around.
but like where
Yeah.
it boils down to it. So like, say there's a golf
Yeah.
cart coming.
Yeah.
You're on a sidewalk.
Right in the yard.
So
It's a
you
golf
would
cart.
expect them to go around you into the yard.
So, and I'm going to expect them to figure it out.
Yeah. But what if they just stopped too?
Then I'll just...
You just hold. hold. Like what if you're both just staring at each other? You're like,
yeah.
Like what would you do?
You know, that's good. I guess like also like I'm thinking like, you know, with the bicycle and the golf cart thing, if I'm like walking with Sarah out here, you know, like I don't want you, my partner, to have to like stand in the grass.
Yeah.
You know,
So it's like that sort of thing too.
either. Yeah.
So, but if you say you did come, you're on a sidewalk and you
Yeah.
came to that standstill
Yeah.
there, and they stopped too,
That
And you're
then I
just
would
both-
then I would walk around.
you would walk around them.
Then I would walk around.
You wouldn't come. It wouldn't.
I would probably-
You
I
wouldn't
would-
escalate it.
I would.
You would.
I would.
What,
Yeah.
So would you like come to? Would you fight somebody over that?
No.
You would if it came to a physical altercation. That's when you would draw
Yeah.
the line of
Yes.
this is not worth
Yes.
it.
I would say something.
Yeah.
I would say something.
Yeah, but that's saying something is very.
Right.
That's a fine line.
But I can run.
Yeah, but you might not because you might
Right.
get mad.
I probably. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not
I don't know.
fighting.
Yeah,
you're
I
not
would-
fighting under an even mind. You know,
I
usually.
do. I do like to yell things at people.
Yeah.
So first of all, I like to.
Well,
I
you
like
wouldn't
to
be yelling
make
at this at
comments.
somebody. They would be
especially
like, you'd be like me and you talking.
But like especially like if a car is you know, has their window down and
Yeah, as
they, you
they're
know,
going
don't
by.
stop at the
Yeah.
pedestrian spot, like I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It is a risk.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you flip people off in the car?
no, not anymore.
Not
It's-
anymore.
it's
But you
not-
have
no.
before.
It's not- yeah, when I was younger.
Okay.
Maybe even like a few years ago. Yeah.
But
like
so you won't do it in the car, but you would do it on a bike or walking? That's interesting.
So I don't like to flip people off.
Or just any I mean by flip off I mean make some
Yeah.
gesture that they would see or
Yeah.
know. I'll like when I'm driving,
Yeah.
if I see somebody like do something, I'll like, or like if someone do, I'll like put my hand up, like what do
Yeah.
what do you want from me or something like that.
Yeah.
That's like the extent of what I would do to someone.
I think like when you're
Yeah.
driving, I mean, like if they're next to you, you know, like they might start driving sporadically. But like
Yeah.
if I'm riding or walking, like you're just gonna drive ahead.
so you feel more comfortable doing it there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm
It's like,
genuinely
what
asking.
are you gonna like stop and like come
Yeah.
talk to me?
Yeah.
And like if you do, like, you know, if I need to, you know, then I'll fucking pull out my sword.
I'll pull out my
No.
mace.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But I don't like to yell things. Road rage is
Yeah.
and I guess maybe I just associate that only with me actually driving a car. So maybe
Yeah.
that's why, but I
It's
probably
only in
should
the
think
car.
about it out there.
Yeah, that's how I look.
Yeah.
Like for me, in
Yeah.
all of those situations, it's the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, on the sidewalk, there's a bike, there's a
Yeah.
all of those situations. The easiest solution for me is just to move out of the way and allow them to pass, regardless of who's right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, I could just move out of the way. Like,
Yeah.
like, could I make my stand here and say I'm right? And then, you know, I fucking, you know, who knows what happens? Maybe it's, you know, now I get in a fight with this person.
Yeah.
And maybe I get seriously hurt or I seriously hurt them. And then now my fucking story is what happened to you? Like, why are you in jail or why are you eating through a straw? Well, I was on the fucking sidewalk and a fucking guy on a bike came.
So
it's like, well, that was fucking stupid. Huh?
I think
You're like,
I
"Oh,
think I'm
shit."
tactful. I think I'm tactful.
Okay.
If I like, so let's go back to the golf cart.
Yes.
Stopped.
Yeah.
If I am close enough to you to make like a shitty comment.
Yeah.
And like, let's say we're as close as you and I, and like
Yeah.
we're like passing each other.
Yeah.
I want you to either feel dumb.
Yeah.
I want to make you feel dumb.
Or shame them.
Or you to feel bad.
You want them to know that they were wrong.
Yeah, and feel bad in
You want
their
them to
realization
acknowledge
that
the fact
they
that
are
they're wrong?
in the wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those two.
But do they ever?
I don't know.
Or is it's just an
know.
internal thing for you?
What
Just
about
to-
what about like because you've said you will talk to someone if they have a dog off a leash.
Yeah, If someone's dog is,
And I know that's different because that is threatening to,
my family.
Yeah.
That was what I was going to bring up. If anything, I completely understand all of those. If there was a threat put on you,
Okay.
So like if you were walking down the road and a bike whizzed past you without saying anything, I would say something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it was past me and I had the ability to get out of the way, I would just get out of the way. Or if a fucking a car, even if a car drove fast past me in like a neighborhood setting, then I would say something.
Okay.
Like if I'm by myself, probably not, because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If I'm like with my family, then I would say something.
Okay.
Same thing goes for a dog. So like if I see a person with their dog off the leash in the distance, or even on the other side of the road, and their dog is walking next to them, I'm not going to say anything because I don't give a shit. It's not affecting me.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid.
It is stupid.
You should not. It's illegal and it's stupid. If I had a dog, I would be upset about that. Like if their dog came over to me, like I've always said that if I ever had a dog, I would just want a dog that killed. I would just want a dog that killed other dogs.
Yeah.
And I would always keep it on a leash.
Yeah.
And follow all the rules, and I would just go places with it.
Yeah.
And then I would just stand there, and I would wait for the people with their dog off the leash, and it would come over. My dog would just rip them to shreds, and I'd be like,
fair game.
sorry. Like as it's coming to me, I'd be like, my dog's
Not friendly, not friendly.
not friendly. They'd be like, and then there'd be like a bloody mess on the ground. I'd be like, sorry. Like
I
the
always
next
tell
one,
people
get a leash for the next one.
Next one. You get another one.
Yeah.
I always tell people Saki's not friendly.
Yeah.
Well, unless
Well,
they're a
to say your
person.
dog is
Unless
friend-
they're a person.
But even to say your dog is friendly how do you know?
Yeah.
It's a fucking dog.
I don't know.
You don't
exactly.
know. It's friendly right
sometimes,
now.
I mean, like he is Saki.
Yeah,
So like,
I mean,
but like also like
99% of the time.
he's old and like
could bite you.
what? Well.
It probably wouldn't
He
hurt.
like,
It'd be like
he's got gums.
He'd gum you.
He'd gum you.
Yeah.
But like, like I sometimes like wonder when the kids are over. So like my nieces, and they've been fucking because he gets tired of
on
them.
his
He
hair
gets tired
and
of
shit.
them.
Yeah, they're being kids.
And like, I don't,
He could snip at one of them.
He could.
Yeah,
he
and it
could.
probably
And he could
wouldn't
like
hurt
snip.
them.
He could snip at me too. And like, I feel like if he did do any of that stuff, that would be due to like some brain deterioration.
Yeah, he's just old.
If that.
Yeah. Or just dogs in general. You don't know. Like, even if your dog doesn't even hurt him, even if the dog, it's a little kid and they're playing with the dog and he barks at him, you might traumatize that child to be afraid of dogs for the rest of their life. That's how most people who are afraid of dogs is because they got bit
Dog trauma.
or a dog did something to them and now they're fucking afraid of dogs for the rest of their life. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, like there you go. There's a drop of that in your fucking brain. Now forever you're going to be afraid of dogs, which are everywhere.
Now bury that down.
Let's
never
fucking-
tell anyone about
let's
it.
see what that becomes.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me. If you were to put
a threat.
Yeah, if it were to put me in my family in it, then is when I would, take a stand about it. But other than that, like, it's just like not worth it for me. Like I'm just like, like.
So I've got another one, and this just jumps to almost a different topic, but it's still driving.
Yep.
And like you mentioned that you're a drone.
Yes.
I'm
the same as Google Maps.
I'm not an aggressive driver.
Yeah.
I don't drive aggressively.
Yeah.
Like I always keep like at least a car in front of me, even when I'm like stopped. It's like it's just like
why?
None of it's worth it.
Yep.
Just be fucking safe.
Yeah. Show up a minute later alive.
Yeah. People riding my ass.
Yeah.
Fucking
Gets
bugs
mad.
me, dude.
Yeah.
And one of my things, if you're
Well, I got a real quick, John.
Yeah.
When you brake, where do you look? When you're driving, where do you look when you hit the brakes?
I do look behind me.
Yeah.
I do
I
look
think
behind
that's
me.
a big sign of that.
Yeah.
But sorry, continue.
But
on.
I'm trying to look in front more than I'm looking behind because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always more concerned with what's behind me.
Yeah.
So like one of these roads here, when I have to turn down this road right here from the big road, there's no turning lane.
Yeah.
And plenty of people turn down this road, but I'm always worried that someone, because that's how I got hit when I was driving my last car.
Yeah.
I was pulling into a parking lot and
Someone just pulled in, hit you from behind.
the person on the road didn't fucking punted my car
Yeah.
across the lot.
Yeah. But I think that's a sign of a smart driver.
Yeah.
So when you're cognizant of things like that, like when you're braking, you're looking behind you. But sorry, continue on with your.
And I do like try to be like courteous if I'm coming off this big road and I
try and wait
and
till slow.
Like if I'm in the left lane and I have to
stop.
I have to turn right at this next one. Yeah, like if I merge over, like. And like, there's not a lot of. I'm not just gonna like slam on my brakes so I can get this turn. Like, I'm just gonna go to the next light.
Yep.
So, but if you're being a dick and you're riding behind me, one of the best things I can do is, and I did this to someone the other day, is if I can
find a car who's going slower next to you and gridlock them.
Oh, that's no, I'm not going to gridlock anyone. That's dangerous.
Just find slow down until you match someone else's speed. Like, have fun in your prison.
I love when they like people like fucking get in like the right lane on the interstate to like get around everyone. It's like, well, now you're in the right lane. You're in the right lane. You're stuck behind everyone that's going slow.
Yeah, they zoom all the way around you, and then you see them 10 minutes later, stopped ahead of you. You're like,
yes,
you got far, buddy.
So if I can get it to where I get to go through the light, but you have to stay behind.
Do you think? Did they stop? Have you get that though? You don't think that person would just blast through a red?
I got one the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, you would think that they would.
That's a big victory because you had to time that perfectly.
Yeah,
and then you probably had to borderline drive through a red to get that.
Yes,
to stop them.
And when I got up to the light way ahead, I saw them down the road and they're fucking gunning it, and you could tell they were pissed.
So that's a victory.
And I was like, awesome.
I have won today.
I have gotten you.
Yeah. The drive. Yeah, the driving, the tailgating and shit like that. Yeah. That's a crazy like. You know, again, it's just people not understanding.
I remember the power one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are in the left. You're in a left turning lane.
Yep.
And there are 2 left turning lanes.
Okay.
All right. So, and on the next road over, I could have a diagram of it. The next road over is a 3-lane road.
Yep.
But there are 2 turning lanes left onto this road.
You guys, are you talking about across from you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys both have. You're both.
So you're going onto a 3-lane road from 2 turning lanes.
Okay.
If you're on the right side, you're on the outer side. When you're going over to the other road, are you?
I mean, you have to be in the middle lane.
What?
You should be in the middle lane.
You're going to the middle lane? You're not going over to the right lane?
You can't. You should. I don't think that's legal. Yeah. Until you get into the next into that next flow of traffic. They don't put those fucking. They should put solid white lines on the road there, but it'll be confusing as fuck.
Yeah.
Because the road would just be like a spiral of lines on it in the intersection.
Yeah.
But
like
that's how the law works. You don't shift lanes when you're turning.
No, you don't.
You can't.
But you know, like when you're turning left, a lot of times you do.
You swerve
just go over into the next.
Yeah,
lane.
which then fucks the person across from you who might be trying to turn right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But they shouldn't be if we're coming. If they're
turning left and they're in the 2 lanes, if
everyone did everything right, then
perfect.
But no one does, and I don't think you should do that.
No, you don't. But people do that all the time. People come into the left lane too.
I don't.
People when they start turning, they just ignore all lanes. Like I'm just gonna take whatever lane I like when I get to the next destination.
So if I'm at an intersection. And it's red, and I'm in the right turn, and this intersection is like onto like let's say 41, the big road.
Yeah.
I don't want to turn right. Like I don't care if it's I don't care if no one's in that lane. It's like
just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because people fucking fly on those roads.
But that hypothetical. So, but I always feel like if I'm going into the middle lane, which I'm supposed to be doing, I feel like the person on the inside, I feel like they're trying to come over.
They're trying to suck up on that.
Yeah, I feel like they're assuming I'm going to go to that far one, and that they're
trying
be
to
able
push
to come
over
into
you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Is that why? So are you saying that's why you move over, or do you just feel like you move over because you feel like they're drifting?
No. I go into the middle lane, but like I was wondering if you would think that that's like a power thing. It's like me
you're just following the law.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where you should drive. Now, being a defensive driver and looking and watching where people are going. But because people just fucking swerve like crazy people when they're turning left. They just ignore.
People swerve a lot more than they used to. People just love to be in your lane.
They're just not paying attention. There's too much stuff going on.
There is.
You got phones,
touch screens.
Your car is like a phone in
fucking
front of you.
TV.
Yeah, you got your fucking
Yeah.
Spotify and
Yeah.
your texts and your fucking Siri, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I just send some shit over here.
Send a reminder to me.
Yeah, people are definitely paying less and less
Yeah.
attention.
But
Yeah,
I don't
cars.
really have any gamer things. I'm working on a game. I'll show you in a second. I think
Yeah.
you're gonna like the idea. It's cool.
So it's like a roguelike battler, is what you're saying?
I'll
Or are you hiding it? You have an NDA right now?
I'm under NDA, but I'll say it off stream and I'll show you. But yeah. Do you have any closing thoughts?
No, I mean, I think that was oh shit! I wonder if you picked
That was
that
a
up.
nasty one. That was fucking weak.
You might have picked that up.
Yeah.
That'd be impressive if you did.
I hope we did.
Just add one in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Cool.
I think that's another pod.
That is episode 12.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I was just thinking that when I was coming here. I was like, I feel like we've been doing this for
That's 3 weeks.
like 10 years.
3 months.
3 months.
That would be 3 months.
That's awesome.
That's all. Yeah.
That's
For a pod.
consistency.
It is. Yeah. We're
We
consistent.
haven't missed anything. We've been putting
No,
out an
we
episode. We put out
haven't-
2 episodes one time in a week.
We did. Oh, that was crazy. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
But,
need to make shorts again, though.
we do.
But
I've
haven't
been
made
thinking
any.
about that.
I
I
haven't
have
made any this week at all.
Yeah, you did. You
But
made like 3 like 2
That was
days
last
ago.
week.
No,
That was
didn't you? I thought you made them this week.
No, time's not real. That was last week.
That's true. That's true.
That was Saturday.
All right. Well,
Yeah. Cool.
goodbye forever.
Bye forever. Still going. Bye.